Roman Reigns was back again on Friday, just hours after his uncle passed away. He was on the show Friday night to confront Solo Sikoa, and again, single-handedly took out Solo and Tama Tonga before placing the Ulafala back around his neck, only for Jacob Fatu to show up in his walking boot to put Roman down in the dirt. It was a hot angle to close the show. I liked it, but I gotta mention this. I saw this one headline from Cage Side Seats that made me cringe so hard I got a cramp. I swear this is a real article and a real headline here. Roman Reigns and WWE delivered a cinematic masterpiece on Smackdown. Smackdown's final segment was a short film worthy of an Oscar. This is how you can tell that this person has never watched an actual movie before in their life. Then later on came this. In a moment reminiscent of his past sins, the Bloodline drove Reigns through the announcer's table with a shield-like powerbomb. As SmackDown faded to black, the image of Reigns writhing in pain rivaled the iconic scene of Batman left broken by Bane. Oh, man. Look, there's liking the segment and thinking it was good or great. And then there's whatever the hell this is. I don't even know what else to say, honestly. And just to think of all the Bloodline segments that we have had over the last 3.5 years on TV, there have been some that you could say, man, that was cinema. That was a masterclass in storytelling. And like this segment here, this is what you go over the top with and make comments like that about? You're going to make those comparisons? A short film? Well, I guess, hey, Roman Reigns is going to have to get his speech ready, I guess. Oh, I love the wrestling bubble. I love it. See, I'm in the bubble too, but I try to keep like half my body outside the bubble. Like I'm not fully in the bubble. I'm like 65 to 70% in the bubble, but I try to keep part of my body outside so I can maintain some sense of reality here. I did like how nobody came out to help Roman, and the parting shot was of him laying at the feet of Solo and his crew, minus Tongaloa, who was not there this week. Poor guy, only has one eye now. He may have walked into traffic, I don't know. But for nearly 4 years, Roman has tormented the entire roster, including members of his own family who hate his guts. They should not be so quick to want to lend him a helping hand. But he's going to need backup, and that help is coming soon in the form of Jimmy Uso and very likely Jey Uso. And maybe even Sami Zayn. Roman and the Usos, I will tell you, were very likely going to wrestle the Bloodline at SummerSlam, originally. Those plans changed after Sika passed away, which would explain why Jey Uso got left off the SummerSlam card altogether. But it's coming either way. It's coming soon. I do wonder about something, though. I mentioned Sami Zayn possibly being a part of all this, or a possible War Games match, right? Bloodline Civil War. Maybe not. I've had a few people ask me, and actually on the stream on Friday night, I had a couple of different people ask me about Hikuleo. What's his status? How do I think they're going to introduce him? And I said I wasn't sure, unless somehow Solo ended up crawling back to Roman. The more I think about that, maybe I was onto something there, because that segment in the back on Friday where Solo told Tama Tonga, if Roman gets the Ulafala, then he will acknowledge him as the tribal chief, and so will Tama. Tama will have to acknowledge Roman as the tribal chief as well. It may be that was foreshadowing something where Solo gets excommunicated from his own bloodline. Not unlike the way that Edge was kicked out of his own Judgment Day. Right? Solo has to go crawling back to Roman, begging forgiveness. Or maybe the Usos throw a lifeline to their little brother and they come to his aid when his cronies turn on him. Jacob Fatu then takes over the new bloodline and Hikuleo joins as their fourth member. And we get the full OG bloodline minus Sami on one side against Fatu and the 3 Tongans at Survivor Series. Just something to consider. And we still have not heard a single word from Roman Reigns yet. After the beatdown he got, I don't expect that we're going to see him again until that first Smackdown on USA Network, which is the next show that he's advertised for, September 13th. That's a month away. Now, they could always add more dates for him between now and then, but as of this moment, he's not advertised for anything again until September 13th. My guess is we don't see him until then, and that might even be the first match he has back in the ring. They booked Brock Lesnar to wrestle on the first Smackdown on Fox episode in 2019. They wanted something really big for that first Fox show. I'm sure they're going to want to load this show up too. Roman's first match since WrestleMania, that would be one way to do that. It could be a tag team match of some kind. It could be a singles match with Tama Tonga or Jacob Fatu. Right? They don't need to work a full match or have a clean finish if it's Roman and Jacob. I know that's like a big match, and that could be a WrestleMania match. So, yeah, I get it. But that doesn't mean you can't advertise it and tease it for TV, and then, it goes 3 minutes and you have some kind of a schmoz, right? You want to book something to get people to tune in. But he's already been back 2 weeks. We still have not gotten a promo from him. Maybe they'll drag it out for a year and a half and he'll be a mute like WCW did with Sting. Only I doubt that his first words will be as cool as Sting's first words the night that he beat Hogan at Starrcade, when he looked dead ass into the camera and he screamed, "Mamacita." That was about the only good thing to come out of that night.